Hello and welcome back to Matt Bryan Photo. So, today I kind of want to talk about printing your photos, but not only just printing your photos, more or less like finding a photo that you really don't care too much about and you don't think it's all that good and turning it into something that actually looks pretty nice. I was surprised. It was a little slow, I was a little bored, and I decided to do a quick little edit and print this out. And I am very, very happy that I did because it turned out to be a very good photo. And it looks really nice on here. But what I did think was that originally, when I took the photo several months ago, that it was very mundane and wasn't really, it was boring, was what it was. It didn't jump out at me. And like I said, I was bored. And out of boredom, I realized that I can make this into a pretty good photo. Now, I do use some AI with this. I do use a little bit of generative expand. I use a little generative remove. And it's not something that I normally do. I will use AI in Photoshop to remove something from time to time that I just don't like in a photo. But normally I don't do generative expand because I think it's adding to a photo something that wasn't actually there, and I just don't feel like it's really what I like to do. It just doesn't feel right. But because this photo was the way that it was to me very boring, very drab, just kind of eh. I'm like, okay, I'll give it a try, see what it looks like, see what I think, and then print it out and see how I feel once I print it. So I'm going to jump onto Photoshop and show you exactly what I did. Okay, so let's get started with editing this photo in the way that I did to make it look better. First thing I'm going to do before I do anything is I'm actually going to crop this in the 8x8, which is what I printed this as. So I'm going to come up here and I'm going to choose 8" by 8". And I'm going to keep it at 400 ppi or dpi. The reason for that is because my lab printer prints at 400, where most print at only 300. So it's a little extra oomph to it. So I go ahead and I just keep this at 400 ppi. And now I'm just going to adjust this just a little bit. Pretty much like that right there. All right, so I'm going to hit done. All right, so here we are. Here's the photo. Next thing I'm going to do is I want to get rid of this. Okay, so I'm going to hit the selection tool. I'm going to come up here and I'm just going to highlight this area. Actually, I'm going to go a little bit further because of the shadows. Right to there, and I'm going to hit generative fill. I'm not going to type anything in, and I'm going to hit generate. There we go. That actually looks pretty good, but let's see what the other ones look like. That looks better. And that looks even. No, I don't like those right there. So bring that back. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Now, I've already done this, of course. So anyhow, I'm just showing you exactly what I'm doing. And I'm going to flatten my image. I'm going to come back over here to my crop tool. And I'm going to bring this down a little bit. Because I want a little bit more on the sides. Just like that. And I'm going to hit generate for generative expand. And it's going to go through and do its thing and just add a little bit of that sidewalk and a little more brick on there. There we are. It's not exactly what mine was. Okay, so let's generate again. No, no, it's not bad. No, I don't really care for that. So we're going to stick with that one there. And now what I'm going to do is hit the reselect. And I'm going to see if I can get rid of this. I like that. That looks much better right there. All right, that's more like what it really was. And I'm gonna flatten once more. Now I'm gonna come up here. I'm actually going to use the remove tool, and I'm gonna get rid of these little things. Don't know what that is, but I don't like it. I don't know why, but this always takes forever. All right, and let's get rid of that. There we go. I'm going to keep that there because I like that. It's just something that was there in the photo. And here we are. Okay. So now I am going to go into negative lab, or I'm sorry, camera raw. And I'm just going to add a little exposure. Not much, just a little bit. Add some contrast. I'm going to bring the blacks down just a little bit. I'm going to add some clarity. As you can see, it's starting to vignette with the clarity. I'm going to add a little texture, a little bit of dehaze, and then I'm going to add a little vignetting. I think I'm going to take the, I'm going to leave the highlights alone. I'm going to take down the, there we go. And that's it. That's the photo. That's all I did for editing on this. It took, as you can see, all of just a couple of minutes to really kind of transform this photo into something that looks really cool on print. I think I did add a little red to it. So, I mean, maybe a little saturation, but a lot of that I did actually when I was printing. You know, I kind of changed, I kind of added a little, I kind of took away some cyan, and I added a little bit of detail contrast, and that was about it to it. So yeah, really simple. So you can go back, look through some of your old photos, and just play around with them and really kind of turn it around and take that boring photo and make it into something that looks really cool, especially if you're printing it out. Now, I did also do a canvas on mine. I did a 1/4 inch all the way around. So actually it'd be a 1/2 inch total. So 8.5 and 8.5. And I want that to be white. So that's how mine actually came out when I printed it. And the reason for the border was because I have a matte in my frame and I wanted the whole image in there. So yeah, really simple thing to do, really fun to do, and actually very, very rewarding in the end of the day. All right, so that is exactly how I edited this photo. And I generally edit digital, film, photos differently, and black and white photos. I edit those 3 different types of photos, right? 3 different types of media differently. Digital, I tend to kind of go wherever. I do kind of like adding the clarity. I do like a little vignette in the photo, depending on the type of photo. If it's something in the center, I kind of like to add a little vignette around it. This one I did because, really, I mean, if you look at the photo, you're sitting there and you're like, okay, where's that door lead? Where is that door? You know, it's got the vignette going around on the outside, kind of drawing your focus in right to the center of this old worn door. And I need to keep looking at the lens, not at the screen. And it's just an old worn door, and you're just like, wow, I wonder where that goes. And to me, this kind of, when I looked at it after I printed it, I'm like, that's kind of cool. It makes me wonder, even though I know where the photo was taken, it still makes me wonder what's on the other side of that door. And that, in my opinion, is a successful photo. So maybe it's a terrible photo. I don't know. Put a comment down below. Tell me it's terrible. Tell me it's good. It doesn't really matter. I like it, and that's really what matters. And that should be all that matters to you, is if you like the photo, print it.